Welcome to the CBS 42 Remarkable Women of Central Alabama special. I'm Carly Lang. March is Women's History Month, and each year we ask you to nominate the remarkable women in your lives to be recognized. The entries are then narrowed down to 4 finalists. This year's finalists all have one thing in common: a selfless dedication to others. The first finalist is Nina Taylor. Taylor calls herself a natural helper. She always wants to nurture and show her love for others by example.
The story from when I was a little child is just I wanted to be able to change the world, and that's the one consistent thing that has remained the same. It's just of how I was going to do it. As a little girl, I thought I was going to be this dashing doctor or this wonderful lawyer that was going to just change everything. And then as I became older and I realized in society that it's helping the people that are directly around you that actually cast that pebble into the lake that causes the ripples that changes the actual world around you.
The path Nina Taylor took wasn't what 10-year-old Nina ever saw coming. Nearly 2 decades in the fire service, but it gave her the opportunity to change her community.
I didn't know at 10 that I would be surrounded by a bunch of men doing a job that most people would say is not for women. But it has given me a peace. I think that's the best way to put it. A peace and a peek inside the lives of some of the most beautiful people I could have ever met in the whole wide world.
The peek inside the homes of others, a catalyst to help those she serves in other ways, building ramps for people who can't leave their homes, waking up at 4 a.m. to cook and take Thanksgiving meals to those quarantined with COVID. Even her own home changed for the betterment of others.
I stayed in it, for a few years, and then it didn't feel like the home I should be in. It felt like a home that I should be giving back with.
She enrolled to become a Section 8 landlord, using her home to give her tenants the assistance they needed to move ahead in their lives.
My last tenant, her name's Brittany. And Brittany walked in and she looked around and she said, "A house." And she looked down and she said, "And hardwood floors." And then I saw these 2 little girls walk in behind her. And I said, "What do you see yourself doing?" And she said, "I want to become a nurse and an entrepreneur. I want to own my own business." I said, "Have a seat." She filled out the application and I asked her, I said, "Do you trust me?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "I need to go where you live." She said, "Okay." Put her in the car. We drove to her apartment. It was seedy. Wasn't great at all. And I looked over at these 2 little girls and I looked at this apartment complex and I was like, And we walked in and I looked at her home and it was clean. So she was really trying to make a home. I waived her application fee and told her she had the house right then and there under one condition: that she created a family, a nucleus, which means that she had to give the best for her girls.
After 3 years, Brittany married, bought a house of her own, has a business, and has made a home for her girls. After nearly 2 decades serving others through fire and EMS, and teaching the next generation about the fire service at Midfield High School, Taylor hopes to help a larger community by running for state office, but her attention remains focused on others.
If you have a light or you have a candle and someone else has a candle, it doesn't hurt to take your candle and light the other candle. And now both of you have a lit candle. So I tell people, anytime I come in contact with someone, if I am that light and this person doesn't have that light, I'll take the time out to light their candle so they can have a candle too.
Taylor says she loves the fire service, but she is looking forward to the future when she can expand her service to others statewide. After the break, we'll introduce you to another of our 4 finalists, Felita Powell. She gives her mother all the credit for her dedication to others. Her story next. Stay with us. Welcome back to our Remarkable Women of Central Alabama special as we continue sharing the stories of our 4 finalists and their selfless dedication to others. Next, we introduce you to Felita Powell. She's a Navy veteran who tried to branch out on her own, but found herself caring for the very neighborhood she was trying to leave.
I had a young mother. She had three. One, the baby was there, and the other two were after schoolers. And I used to say, "Are you working?" "No, ma'am, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that." "No, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not." I just like, "Oh, are you gonna ever get out of this?" She didn't wanna pay attention to her mom. Mom wanted her to go to church and do this, and she just fought every step of the way not to do what mom wanted her to do.
Felita Powell owns Spiritual Growth Child Care Center in the West End neighborhood of Birmingham. For 40 years, the center, started by her mom, has cared for the children of the neighborhood, a neighborhood Powell's family has cared for since 1973, when they were the first Black family on their street.
My mom is big on feeding people. I mean, you go shopping, make sure you get enough for you and your neighbor to the left and to the right of you. That's always important. And I've pretty much lived my whole life by that.
Where she is now, not the plan at the beginning.
I fought it. I thought when I get out of high school, I'm gonna leave. I'm not, and I joined the Navy. 10 years, I come back home. We did a restaurant, I had a clothing store, we did furniture. All those lasted about 5 years apiece. And then daycare. And I find myself on weekends, when I get home on Friday, it's like, whew, I'm tired. But Saturday morning, I'm thinking, what are they doing? Did she remember to give him his medicine? Did they give her those extra set of clothes? And then Monday, I don't go to work first thing on Monday morning. I have to wait. I have to take a deep breath because I want them all to be there. And in this day and age, it's not always the case.
The love she has for the children and family she cares for shines to all around her.
They're not mine, but they're mine. And it's important that they eat, and it's important that they have shoes, and it's important that they wear jackets when it's cold. And again, I'm not just talking about the children.
When she heard of her nomination for Remarkable Women, like many others, she felt undeserving.
I do what I do, but I don't see it being, because again, I'm thinking, truly. And then the other day I was like, oh, the community is just going. I said, it's not enough. It's not enough people working together. It's not enough people working together. If we all work together, and I said, 4 people are gonna come together. And I said, and I'll meet these ladies. And if all 4 of us work as a team, it's like, what, Pinky and the Brain, we can take over the world.
Powell says she hopes she touches at least one person who does truly remarkable things. The young mother who didn't want to listen to her mom?
She sent me posts. My babe was on the swim team. This is a little boy who hated getting his face washed, afraid of water. He's on the swim team. Her other son is he's golfing. She went back and got a degree. She got her a nice new little Lexus and vehicle, sent me pictures. Look, Miss Felita, you said I could do it. I said, but you knew you could. That's why you tried. And he's 13 now, tall as I am. They make me proud.
Powell says the ability to give is a true blessing, and she plans to continue to help meet the needs of the people around her. Coming up next, we'll introduce you to Laura Barlow Heath, whose dedication to her community is all about making it better for the next generation. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back. Mother, wife, friend, mentor, leader, advocate. These are just some of the words used to describe our finalist. Up next, we have Laura Barlow Heath. Her husband says she tries to better her community every way she can by serving others. She has a heart for serving and hopes to leave the world a little better than when she found it.
That's my main thing with serving. It's not just me. I'm just one person. My biggest goal is to bring people together.
Laura Barlow Heath is a mom, PTO president, Little League volunteer, city councilor.
Well, I always joke and say I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. But I serve the community and I will spend many hours out at the ball fields getting them ready preseason, postseason, throughout the year, because I believe in, serving is not just making decisions, it's putting in the actual work. And, I've been known to go out there and weed eat. Actually, I spent last week weed eating, raking leaves. That's part of it. When you serve, you serve fully.
In November of 2020, Heath was elected to the City Council in Sylacauga. In just over a year, she's managed to push for fully funding the Drug and Violent Crimes Task Force, help the fire department move forward in turning an old middle school into a training facility, and work with the state to fund ride services provided by SAFE, the organization led by last year's Remarkable Woman winner, Margaret Morton.
And I had my cousin who called me, who uses the public transportation, and said that I have to pay $75 a week to go to work. I said, what? And so automatically I started, making calls and stuff, and, nonetheless, they're going to have to start charging. So for the next month, it's covered until we can find state funding from donors donating the funds to fund it, just so these people can go back and forth to the AIDB Industries from Sylacauga and work.
Laura's kids are involved in sports and team activities. She's never missed a game. She hopes she can make the world a better place for them, believing every child deserves a chance in life. It's why she's worked to find sponsors for kids in need, giving them a chance to play and learn.
We had a kid who had never held a baseball bat, had never held a ball, didn't even know really how to run, and he came out there and he was on the all-star team. He went from, I watched him it was awkwardly run to dominating the field. That was incredibly rewarding to see a child develop that passion.
She serves as vice president of the PTO at the middle school, where she works with guidance counselors to help provide Christmas to kids in need. One child, wild about basketball, was given a basketball goal.
I would have loved, I told the parents, I said, if y'all could just film them, I just want to see their reaction. I would love that because that's what it's about. It's about them seeing the reaction, seeing that happiness, seeing, because they deserve a chance just like anybody else. They deserve to have the things that other kids have, and if I can make it happen, I'm going to make it happen for them.
Seeing more that can be done, always seeking more needs to fill, Heath finds it hard to see and talk about her own accomplishments.
I don't deserve this. There's so many more people I can think of that would be much more deserving, because I don't see myself as somebody who does all the things that I do. I don't know how, I have such a full plate, but I don't see it like that. I see it as just serving and trying to make a difference for my children and the other children in the community. Because that's our future. And if I can leave it just a little better for them, then that's my goals accomplished.
Heath loves Sylacauga, and she hopes she inspires others to make a difference in their own communities. Coming up, we'll introduce you to Pastor Betty Johnson. At 82, she still tries to learn something every day and make a difference. We want to thank you for joining us again for our Remarkable Women of Central Alabama special. The final story tonight is about Betty Johnson. She's a pastor of United Missionary Baptist Church in the Evergreen Bottom neighborhood of North Birmingham. It's a community she's been caring for decades. At 82 years old, Betty Johnson's goal is simple: make a difference.
If you're hungry, I'll feed you. You ain't got no clothes, I'll clothe you. I'll do that. If you ain't got a dime in your pocket, I'll give you one. That's what I do. And I just give it and go on by my business. But what I give it, God takes good care of me.
Affectionately called Mama Johnson by many, she says she doesn't have much, but she has exactly what she needs.
And success is not always money. That is the one thing that have triggered us off, got us thinking, if you got money. Do you know there are people that are billionaires? I believe in it because I ain't never been there. They miserable this morning, but guess what? I'm as happy as I can be. I'm full, I'm up, I'm able to go do what else I need. Well, money ain't important. Hey, I don't care what you ate this morning. I don't care if anybody else ate a T-bone steak. I ate grits and bacon. I'm just as full as you are. So it don't matter what I ate. I'm full. And that's life for us.
But life, of course, comes with challenges. She was married for 58 years, the last 5 filled with sickness before losing her husband.
And I was talking to my son, and I know out of respect, he figured Daddy gone, who been taking care of Mama and me. Now he gone, what are we gonna do? I said, well, David, and this is what I mean, and I mean, if it's anybody in Birmingham know how to make a living, it's me. I may get out there and put up a soup pot, but I cook good soup. And if I cook it this week, 1 pot, I cook 2 next week. So these are challenges for me.
Another challenge was becoming pastor of United Missionary Baptist Church in the Evergreen Bottom neighborhood. She is one of the only female missionary Baptist pastors in Alabama and faced some opposition.
How can you half use me? You either use me or you don't. Now you need me to get up and sing before you preach, but you don't want to hear me preach. That's using me. But it's been a challenge for me to take on that church.
Throughout her life, Johnson relied on her faith during hard times. She remembers a simple challenge from early in her marriage.
We wanted a bedroom suite. And there was a Moss Fitzgerald down on 10th Avenue. And I said, we could always sit down and come together and decide how to save a penny or whatever that. I said, well, let's do this right here. We come again. We'll take, every time you spend $1, whatever change you bring, we had a jar over behind the bed. We put that change in that jar like the gallon picker jar, put it in there. Got the place at the, I said, well, let's go look at a bedroom. So we went to Moss Fitzgerald. And we were looking at a bed, had the high bed post and whatever like that. We wanted the most expensive bed in Moss Fitzgerald. And they had nothing but some money in a jar. But God worked it out. Bought that bed, got somewhere to set it up, and we slept in it for years.
Through all the challenges of marriage, parenthood, pastoring, and life, Betty Johnson is happy. She continues to challenge herself to make a difference every day.
So I got a good life in front of me to live. My last days here on this earth, and I want them to be my best days, but I want to be able to tell somebody about Jesus. I want to tell folks how to live right. Because you can sure live right. You ain't no perfect, but you can live right. Mm-hmm.
Johnson hopes to continue growing her church for as long as she can. She believes that if she has everything she needs, she can provide for someone else. Stay tuned. Coming up after the break, we'll reveal our winner. Welcome back. The time has come to reveal the winner. On March 13th, families, sponsors, and members of the CBS 42 staff came together to honor our 4 remarkable women finalists. Our Andrea Lindenberg and Lillian Lalo welcomed each woman and their families and shared their stories as we honored each one. Then it was time to announce the winner, Laura Barlow Heath, is Central Alabama's Remarkable Woman winner. In addition to local recognition, Heath will get $1,000 that she can donate to the charity of her choice. She will also be entered as a finalist in Nexstar Media Group's Woman of the Year campaign. That winner will receive an additional $5,000 for their designated charity.
I still feel undeserving, but I'm very appreciative, and it's such an honor, and I appreciate CBS and the producers and everybody who made this possible.
We hope you've enjoyed meeting our remarkable women of Central Alabama. While we can't honor all the remarkable women in our area during this short program, we hope you at home take the time to say thank you to those remarkable women in your life. Thank you for joining us. Good night.